Hi, I'm Cody. For anybody that doesn't know me, I use they, them pronouns on personal transmasculine experience, and I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about gender affirming care. Oh, and I'm an undergraduate student, so I'm not like qualified to comment on exactly how to deliver care, but that's, you know, my whole life is built around getting in that direction. So anyway, so I just want to start by saying that when addressing patients who are transgender or gender non-conforming, do people understand generally like what is the difference there? What is the distinction between being like gender non-conforming or transgender or non-binary? Anybody? Okay, cool. Because like somebody, the reason why I think it's really important to understand that distinction when it comes to delivering gender affirming care is because sometimes for cisgender folks in particular, delivering that care is centered around still enforcing a gender binary in what the direction that someone may be going for their gender affirming care. So the first thing to just like think about with providing that care is not the assumption that someone is going from A to B. They're traveling through a spectrum, and where their destination is up to them. So that's the first thing, kind of going into it. Sorry, I'm like, I get like tunnel vision when I'm standing up in front of this video. Just lost my train of thought. So when addressing patients about gender affirming care, like sometimes that spectrum of care can be as simple as just asking them what their chosen name is and what pronouns they use. It doesn't mean that they want surgery, that is exactly the direction they're going in, that your question should immediately go to like, when do you want to have like surgery, or how do you want to get hormones or whatever. Sometimes it's just literally feeling safe and having you use the correct name and pronouns so that that person can come talk to you about like, I have a cold and I just feel safe telling you that I have a cold and I need help, because otherwise I don't feel safe telling you that I need something, because if I reveal my full identity to you, etc. And then some tips for when talking with trans and gender non-conforming patients too is like, when you screw that up, because you will, because we're all people and we mess it up. I misgender myself sometimes. It's like the weirdest thing. It really happens. But like one of the big things that can really like distract the patient or make the patient feel really uncomfortable is like having a provider like apologize so much or behave so uncomfortably, instead of just having the humility of saying like, oh, like my bad, like, or I don't really know what direction to go with this care, let me figure it out, is putting the responsibility or the onus on the patient then to like console you in the exam room or whatever, in the consult. So and again, man, sweating up here, sorry. I also just want to highlight that the best things that we can do to provide gender affirming care in a safe environment for trans and non-binary and gender non-conforming folks is to honor their name and pronouns when they're not around, correcting ourselves or our colleagues when things get messed up, and recognizing that each individual is an individual, and their journey along the gender spectrum is their own, and there's no prescription for that. Prescription in terms of what exactly that will look like. And I find most helpful things that I can say to someone is that, especially as care providers, is remembering to put compassion ahead of comprehension, and that comprehension is not a requirement for the compassion that you can show somebody if you don't understand, or if you don't agree, or whatever your personal understanding or views are on gender binary structures in medicine. Remembering to put that compassion ahead of comprehension usually kind of disarms people so that they can hear maybe what you have to say.